we're switching from Ewetopia Farms to the Wandering Shepherds. I'm Lynn, and today we're going to head out to some old churches to look at how different religions and groups of people in the past have interred their people in cemeteries. Today we'll be heading to an Anglican cemetery, a Quaker burial ground, and a Presbyterian cemetery. We're going to look at some cool tombstones and look at why these places, even though they are all cemeteries, they are all a little bit different. Hope you enjoy yourself and join us. And at the end, we do a slideshow, so please stay with us. Right now, we're at Holy Trinity Church on Oakleaf Road, which is kind of near Lyndhurst, Athens area of Eastern Ontario. And we always like this church because it's an old one in the neighborhood, all farms around here. And this cemetery here is quite old and has a lot of sad history, which goes hand in hand almost with our sheep farm, Ewetopia Farms, because lots of children died way back when in this area. I'm not sure from what. I'm guessing it was from TB, from drinking the raw cow's milk, but there are lots of sheep tombstones here. So we'll head over and have a look at a few of them. First discovered this graveyard and saw the sheep all over the place. Our thought was, when we died, we'd like a sheep tombstone. But someone from South America told me that in their country, sheep on a tombstone was what they used to denote children dying. And I'm pretty sure that's the case here as well. And when I did do some research on the sheep tombstones, I did discover that indeed these are usually the graves of children 18 years old and younger. But what we found is that they tend to be for children up to about 2 years old. It's one of the oldest ones here because I walked all around it and you can't see a date on this one. It's worn totally off. Another one here. The little lamb is on the ground and its head has broken or worn off. Arnie thinks it probably was sitting on top of this tombstone at one point. But if you look at the date on this one, it says May 2nd, 1881, and that says 10 months old, right?
Yeah, it's funny because that's a date there, but this date here goes back to 1858, and I can't read the rest here, when it was born. That even goes back farther.
In memory of Liam, that's my son's name, Westemere, who died December 7th, 1858. Well, this could have been a father, or I don't know. Well, they could even be separate because that's not that one. The name over there looks like Johnson. But these are very old here. You can't read all the dates, eh? Because what does this say?
What's that mean?
Here's another one. The person died in 1858. That's 61 years old. Arnie's found another sheep one. It looks like with the frost and stuff, The heads tend to get knocked off. Any dates you can see?
There's writing on this side, but why would the writing be at the back?
I don't know.
I can't make it out.
Yeah, I think these little lamb ones are really old because I can't find any writing either. This one here is 1866, 21 years old. So
And there was something up there.
young as well. Another little lamb here. Again, the writing is too worn off for us to see. But a lot of these tombstones are from the 1800s. We'd never seen this before, and we tend to go to a lot of old churches and graveyards, and this one has a lot of lambs. Found another one here. It's got writing on it, but it's a Johnson, which seems to be a common name here, but I cannot read what the dates are. And we are from Canada, so for those of you who aren't and don't know, Canada officially became a country July 1st, 1867. So many of these stones here predate the official marking of Canada. At that time, these people would have been living in what was known as Upper Canada.
But what's this here mean?
Age 29. David died March 17th. I can't read. 1871.
What does that mean?
4 weeks.
Of age?
Yeah.
And then you
Died.
And then what's this here? 5 months?
Age 6 months. Children of the children of the above. I don't. Okay, so this person, the Johnson and Reed, these are all their children that died. Quite young by the sounds of it. It's their family tree, literally.
This person died at 32 years old. And this is Reed died.
Yeah, okay, so these are the same people, same wife and father, but these might be even more kids. I don't know, was there a fire or a disaster and they all died? I don't know. Because that's a lot.
This cemetery quite used heavily. See on this side here.
This one is the husband and wife who lived into their 70s and the son who died at 30 years old. But the father died October 25th, 1918, and the son, who was 30, died October 20th, 5 days earlier of the same year. And it makes you wonder, did he die of grief? 1918, was that World War I?
Yeah, I know when did the British when did we form our own government in Canada? It seems to be nothing falls below 1800.
No, because like I say, Canada wasn't even a country then. And we headed back towards our farm. We stopped at Brewer's Mill Church and took some photographs, which we'll show on the slideshow at the end of the video. And now, this is just a few roads behind our farm. This is Sandhill Presbyterian Church. It says established in 1862. It's this one's nice because it's in a nice, quiet, private setting. And as soon as I say that, somebody's roaring on the highway, their engine. But it's got nice trees all around it. It's a beautiful fall day. And at the back of the church here, they've got the little parking for where they used to park the carriages and the horses. Which is very, very pretty back here.
Well, years ago when you came with the carts and you put the horses in here because they were sweating because you went down the road, and you know how you can tell? Hook the horses up, they're still there.
Yeah.
Tie the horses up. So this is all be full of horse and carriages, eh?
And look at that.
Huh? Yeah.
Some old woodwork. So this is a beautiful old building. Really beautiful. And there's a little bird nest here. We'll just pick it up and put it aside.
When I was younger, we used to ride motorbikes, hey? My neighbor comes in here. He was a bachelor, and there's a car parked in here. And there was someone sleeping in the car. And Tommy goes, I think he's passed on, Earl. He committed suicide in here. And Earl goes, no, I think he's just sleeping. but he was actually dead. He committed suicide in here. Parked his car and took.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So,
And Tommy goes, no, I don't think he's going to wake up.
so this could be a haunted place.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, we find a Donaldson statue with a little, it says little angel. So it is a baby. May to August 1945, so it was only a few months old.
It's a Dorper.
So I guess the story about the lambs are true.
Oh, here, so I'm checking that's when he was born, November 12th, 18. He died 2005. Donaldson.
This one is Dwight Donaldson. And this is Donaldson. Yeah, this is the whole Donaldson family. So both the first church, the Anglican one, and this Presbyterian church are Christian churches and Christian graveyards. where although the faiths are a little different, basically they both believe in God and Jesus and the New and Old Testaments. And what I want you to pay attention to is the graveyards and how both of them have all types of stones, from really fancy ones to really small ones. And this is my point about the gravestones. In Christian grave sites, and other grave sites too, I assume, you will see a variety of tombstones, from the super fancy, and you know just by looking at the stones that these were from rich families, or they were very important people in the community at the time, but they held some importance in life, and in death you are going to make the same assumption because they have the fancy stones, whereas you'll see some smaller, less prominent, some even hard to find stones with barely any writing on them. And you make the assumption that those were poorer families. They had loved ones, but maybe the loved ones couldn't afford any more than that. Like, they were doing the best they could. The stone kind of tells a story of how you assume the person would be viewed, or how they lived their life while they were living. And this is what makes these Christian grave sites different from the next burial ground that we come across in the video. So stay tuned for that one because it's quite different. Sorry, is it an oak? No, that one's a massive maple. This one's the oak, this red one.
What religion was this?
1862?
Yeah, but what religion?
1881 it says here for the cemetery, but the church said 62, I thought.
And they have it up there too. Now why would they do it up there? That was
Yeah.
rebuilt 1911. Well, if they had a fire or something.
Oh? Oh. Oh, yeah.
Or was it restored?
It says erected in 1862 and rebuilt in 1911. I don't know, was it a wooden one in the past?
It was in the fire.
Did it get destroyed? Yeah. You'd have to go in here and find out. Looks like a little trail here. I just thought I'd poke my head in here and see if it went anywhere. But it looks like it doesn't. No, it just dead ends here. Just some beautiful colors. Okay, we've come a few minutes down the road from the Oak Leaf Trinity Church to the town of Athens, and I'm showing you this barn because it's an old barn here, abandoned barn, we're at the side of a road, as you can tell. But beside this old barn are a whole bunch of stones here, all over this mound. And if I can get to the sign here, which is kind of in a swamp. It says Quaker Cemetery, established 1831. So there's no church here. The church is this old barn. That's a new silo out front, but this is a really old silo here. Beautiful silo. Beautiful barn. But I digress. These are the stones. And yeah, I was going to say there's no writing on these whatsoever. Oh my goodness. We've got a visitor. Hello. 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 How you doing? Chick, 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 chicky. Hi. I don't know where that chicken came from, but hopefully it doesn't cross the road because it's going to get run over. Oh, there's a whole bunch on the road. This is bad.
Most of it just use a stone.
Oh, look, they're even in here. But they were all together anyway.
Well, these people had no money then. These people were barely living.
That was our first assumption after seeing the Christian cemeteries with all the fancy stones. In actuality, these stones tell you nothing about the people. Someone had something fancy there, but it all broke. This must have been like the elder or something.
Little chickens. Look how far they've gone.
Well, as long as someone doesn't hit them, they must have come from that dairy farm. So this is kind of a cool graveyard. This said 1831. So similar time frame to the other two Christian graveyards we went to.
And why would they pick this little hill here, you think? Right beside the farmer.
Well, I'm wondering if it wasn't a hill until they started burying people.
Oh, and that increased the hill?
Of course. But to me, I would choose that as my church. That's really pretty. Or maybe that old barn was part of the colony.
Yeah.
And so that kind of was like the kind of thing they worked on the farm and worshipped on the farm. When we got home, I went and researched Quaker burial grounds, and this is the information I found out about them that I had never heard of before. So basically and very quickly, the Quakers weren't really a colony like the Amish or Hutterites or anything like that, but they were a group of people with a set of beliefs in living a simple life, and they called themselves Friends. And they weren't a religion per se. They had varying degrees of beliefs in God and stuff like that, but they had no formal doctrines that they adhered to. But they did all believe that God is in everyone and everything, and they believed that they should live a simple life and everybody should be treated equally. So while they were living in the colony, everyone tried to help each other and kind of not stand out from each other. They were all treated as equals, so they didn't wear fancy clothes, they didn't own fancy things. It was all kind of kept low key. And in death, that same adherence to simplicity and not showing off and being equal to your neighbor carries through. And so what they did initially, they just buried the people, and it became a problem after a while because when they were mourning for their loved ones, because they were just buried with no markers whatsoever, because they felt that markers were kind of showing off almost, they couldn't go and sit with them and, kind of commune with them after they died or have remembrances with them. So what they decided in many cases was to leave just a plain stone marker, and they didn't want anything large or ostentatious. It was to be small and simple so that their family, if they did want to go visit the grave site, they would know where their loved one was and they could sit by the grave site. But it was just something small, and it was about being small, the stones. And later on, they also decided that they could put their names on and their date of birth and their date of passing, but nothing else basically. Unfortunate about all the cars here. Athens is a very small, out-of-the-way town, like pretty well non-existent town. I'm surprised how many cars are driving by. Definitely a unique cemetery though. And actually they don't refer to these as cemeteries either. They call them burial grounds. So their universal belief was that God was in everyone, and no one stood out from anyone else. And they found God within themselves and in their relationships with others and in their interaction with the world around them. Well, we're back in our Ewetopia Farms garb. Hope you enjoyed your journey back in time with us today. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and give us a like. And remember, we have Wandering Shepherds videos up on Sundays, and the rest of the time, come on over and join us on the farm. Bye for now.